Hello, so what I'm going to talk about is the labeling of emails, why labeling of emails is important, why automation is the best way to do it, and how the automation works, and then finally what you can then do when you have an email tagged with automation. And so the first thing to think about is, how do you use your inbox? If you're like me, you just kind of let it flow through and it becomes sort of like a flow of information or a flow of emails that you don't put into categories, you don't tag, and you don't even delete them mostly. Maybe you delete some marketing ones, but not even all of them end up in my bin. And so the important thing is to get those emails categorized, and you can do it manually. You can go in and say, oh, this email is about this, or you can do it automatically. Now, either way, you want these emails categorized because it reduces, like we were just talking about, the clutter of your email. You can then identify important things you need to deal with. You don't have to scroll back down and hope that you remember the client email that you got sent last week. You can go into the tags of client emails and see just your client emails, and obviously they're important. You need to deal with client emails, and therefore you can quickly respond to them. Now, in our case, we want them tagged because then that allows us to have specific AI assistants deal with those automated tags. So automating the process of dealing with specific tags or specifically tagged emails. And so this is all the different tags that I put on my email system, sort of all the usual ones that a business might have. Probably the most important one is one at the bottom, which is unknown. And so when the robot goes in, it reads the email, it considers all these different categories. So I've written out like a 1,500 page document explaining how to do this process to the categorization assistant. And so it reads the emails, it knows its instructions, and so it compares what it read in the email with what the instructions were that I gave it, including all the different categories that emails can belong to. And then it assigns the appropriate label if it knows. If it doesn't know, it will label it unknown. And so it makes sure that it only chooses one label and that it applies the rules the same each and every time, and that prioritizes getting that labeling right. If it's unsure, label it unknown. And so 2 or 3 times in my instructions, I give it an out to say, if you're not sure, label it unknown, because that's a good thing to label things unknown, because like a human, you want to allow it to prioritize accuracy over just completion. And then so once it's chosen the label, it puts it on the email. So this is just an example of my email. And say, for example, this scheduling one, I signed up for a webinar, and so it labeled as scheduling. And then from there, we can do automations. So in my scheduling one, it picked up that I'd nominated myself for a webinar. And so it went in and automatically put that into my calendar. Now, next video I'll show you an automation that has the email come in, recognizes financial, and then the finance automation kicks off. It recognizes that it's an invoice. It extracts the key data from that invoice, and then it enters that data into QuickBooks. So you can see how this flow works and how you have different robots to do different jobs. And the first job in any process is the categorization of an email, so that then you can send it off down to the different paths that is required from it.